The Progressive Automotive X-Prize.
Competition for a car that gets 100 miles per gallon has drawn nearly 100 entrepreneurs. The design competition was first. The cars had to pass a looks test. These cars did. Next comes the race. 54 teams will compete to win. The man who raised the money for the prize and organized the competition is Peter Diamandis.
We are driving through competition, entrepreneurs and scientists and engineers to do what only governments could do before.
Peter Diamandis now joins us from Los Angeles by satellite. So, Peter, what's the latest on the contests?
Hi, John. Well, we opened the competition at the New York Auto Show back a couple of years ago and had 130 teams from 20-odd countries around the world register. Most of the teams from the United States, entrepreneurship is alive and well here. And these are cars that have to be the fastest, most efficient cars on the planet, doing over 100 miles per gallon of their energy equivalent. We've whittled that down to where there are 51 vehicles in the competition now, and we just, at the Detroit Auto Show, announced that we've picked Michigan and many of the locations around Detroit to have the competition go into its final phase between April and August.
Which is what,
these cars
phase?
Are,
the final phase
is going to, the final phase of these cars demonstrating their ability to be fast, maneuverable, safe, and do over 100 miles per gallon or its energy equivalent. And we'll be crowning at the end of August and in December in D.C. the world's fastest, most super efficient cars on the planet. Importantly, cars that you and I would love to drive and that we will be able to buy. These are not for kits. These are manufacturable automobiles.
So government spends billions on trying to research these things. How can you get good results with a measly $10 million?
The money credentials the competition. These teams are doing it for much more than just the money. They want to get the global visibility and the chance to really get into business. You know, the difficulty is that, you know, I define experts sometimes as people who can tell you exactly how something can't be done. And when you really want true innovation, true breakthroughs, it looks different than what you have at hand. And so the person who might bring you the breakthrough is from a completely different field, a different area, the person that might not get the venture money or the government backing. And so when we put up these large incentive prizes, we say, I don't care where you're from, where you went to school. If you do this, if you solve this, you win. Go directly to, you know,
and you hear from people who the government might never have found.
Absolutely. Our prizes are global, and we basically define the goal. We say, this is the objective. And we get people who come from different fields, different parts around the world that you might not ever get to know. And they register, and they're passionate, and they will risk everything. And of course, to truly drive a breakthrough, you have to take incredible risk.
In the video, you said, we're driving scientists to do what only governments could do before. But I question that, because this could have happened before if someone had thought of it. This is always a better idea.
There is always a better idea, but what's different today is that the power inherent in the hands of individuals is what only governments had before. With the exponentially growing technologies we have before us and the capital that are in the hands of small groups of individuals, you literally can do what only governments could do before. And that's incredible. So I look to small groups. I look to groups of smart graduate students who have unconstrained thinking and come with an idea that's crazy, but of course it's crazy breakthrough, not anything else.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. I hope you bring us all kinds of wonderful new inventions. Thank you, Peter Diamandis.
My pleasure.
Up next, it's time to get out a tub of water to explain why we don't have to worry about energy dependence. It's amazing how ideas with no merit become popular just because they sound good. And energy independence sounds really good, especially to Americans who, for a lot of good reasons, like the idea of being self-sufficient. But to be for energy independence is to be against trade. And trade makes us richer. Economist Adam Smith had good insight about how this should work years ago. He said, it's the maxim of every prudent family never to attempt to make at home what will cost more to make than to buy. If a foreign country can supply us cheaper than we can make it, better to buy it from them. He's right. People should do what they do best. I'm a pretty good TV producer, but I'm a lousy mechanic. So I should make TV and pay someone else to fix my car. And trade isn't just efficient, it also protects us. We say we want to be energy independent, but what if we were food independent? Next time there's a big flood or drought, we'd starve. Likewise, getting oil from Canada and Mexico and Texas and Saudi Arabia gives us some security. If one company or country won't sell this oil, someone else will. And anyway, all the world's oil ends up in the same bathtub. Imagine this is it. This is the market for oil. If one foreign source suddenly said, I'm not going to sell oil to America, they still have to sell it to someone. It comes back in the market, and that someone then sells it to someone else, and eventually they'll sell it to us. American companies will find a way to buy it. Finally, here's another even bigger point. To achieve energy independence, the government will have to plan the energy sector. Central planning. That's a recipe for disaster because, remember, government doesn't do anything very well. Government gives us long lines at the DMV, the post office. We don't think of government as giving us faster package delivery.
Reliability for less than you think.
Or better cell phones.
Only from T-Mobile.
Government rarely innovates. Bureaucrats give money to their cronies, depending who's in power, and they tend to keep doing what they did last year. To have affordable, low-pollution energy, we need real innovation. The free enterprise kind that brings us better, well...
Turn left.
Everything. The idea that government must guide this process using your money is absurd. John McCain at least rejected command and control for a prize.
A $300 million prize for the development of a battery package.
But why should he spend your money to get a better battery? The free market already provides a prize. Anyone who develops one will soon make at least $300 million simply by selling it. And if that's not incentive enough, private groups like the X Prize already offer their own rewards. Politicians don't need to spend our tax money. Some people say it's terrible that America doesn't have an energy policy. But I say we do have an energy policy. It's the free market, and it works really well. Demanding taxpayer handouts to subsidize certain kinds of government-approved energy isn't how it should work. Get government out of the way. Then inventors will go crazy innovating, and they'll find ways to create energy. May the best entrepreneur win. I'm John Stossel. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.
We want to hear from you. Send us your ideas, your examples of government gone wild, and join our studio audience. To do that, email us or call us.